And I want to start this with this update. You know who is still at large.
Welcome to this week's Wacky Moments of Leftist Extremism. Over the weekend, former President Trump went on a social media site claiming that he would be arrested on Tuesday. But the day came and went without an arrest. And that really annoyed the cast of ABC's The View.
He manipulated everybody. We all rose to the occasion, the papers, everybody just went there.
So many people were excited.
He's a liar.
Yeah.
He's a liar.
So there they are, calling former President Trump a liar during the same week that they proclaim Republicans are teaching students bad habits by calling Joe Biden. Oh yeah, you guessed it.
But I think back to the State of the Union, and this is what we're teaching people to do. We're teaching people how to be inappropriate, yelling at the President of the United States, calling him a liar, doing all these things that now our students are saying, well, if it's okay for you to do it, and you're supposed to be a lawmaker, I feel the same way, because this is my right.
I guess it's only okay for The View to do it. The View is pretty darn stupid, but MSNBC managed to assemble a visual Mount Rushmore of stupid as Joy Reid gathered a panel and once again chanted, "Everything is racist." The special secret dog whistle that the GOP is using this week is mentioning that the New York prosecutor going after Trump is backed by liberal billionaire George Soros.
Tracy Walder, last word to you then on this. The fact that they keep throwing George Soros' name, we've talked about a lot in our show meetings, is it definitely feels like a dog whistle that is dangerous.
It absolutely feels like a dog whistle that's dangerous. Look, most of these groups, the Oath Keepers, Boogaloo Boys, Proud Boys, they all subscribe to what you are all referring to as the Great Replacement Theory, which is that idea that the majority of the white population is being replaced. And this is why we see these spikes in racism, these spikes in anti-Semitism.
So, if you claim a wealthy, elitist white man is attempting to corrupt and influence society to his ideals with his money and through his institutions, well then, you're blowing a racist dog whistle.
The fact that they keep throwing George Soros' name, we've talked about a lot in our show meetings, is it definitely feels like a dog whistle that is dangerous.
It absolutely feels like a dog whistle that's dangerous.
The only thing that was possibly dumber than that was Joy Reid's new attack on Governor Ron DeSantis. This week she proclaimed that, well, you know, Trump is a fascist, but DeSantis, well, he's short.
You can dislike Trump and think he's a fascist, and, you know, you'd be right.
He is, yeah.
But he's good at that. I mean, Ron DeSantis is short. He wears like high platform shoes to make himself look taller, and they've been photographed.
Late on Monday, President Biden finally slipped on some big boy boots of his own and relented to GOP pressure. He signed into law a congressional resolution ordering the Director of National Intelligence to declassify what's known about the origins of COVID-19. You would say to yourself, well, what journalist wouldn't want to know the origins of that? Well, the journalists at CBS Morning News had better stuff to do than cover Biden caving to lawmakers.
What's your idea of a perfect night in for you?
Oh my gosh, a perfect night in.
Asking for a friend.
Is having a glass of wine with a really good book or a great show that I haven't had the chance to see, to kind of binge watch that. And you know, I'm fortunate enough to have a little gym at home.
A gym at home?
Yeah, work out, maybe have one friend over and have dinner.
Yeah, origins of COVID-19, or what's an actor's perfect evening? They seemed a little too into that, you know what I mean? But you know what gets PBS NewsHour really excited and into it? Is when they can report on your Second Amendment rights being chipped away.
While Congress is unable to agree on major new federal gun safety legislation, some states are making progress on their own laws. This week, the Democrat-controlled Michigan Senate passed a major gun safety package, sending it to the House, which is also controlled by Democrats and which is expected to pass it as well.
I love how chipping away at the Second Amendment and limiting Americans' rights is
progress on their own laws.
But when Republicans work on laws, that's not progress to the media. It just becomes time to parrot DNC talking points about the doubling down on controversial hot-button issues.
He is leaning even more into these hot-button issues, now looking to build upon one of his most controversial moves. The parental
Rights in Education Act, which critics call the Don't Say Gay bill, currently applies to grades K through 3rd. DeSantis now wants to apply it through high school. A DeSantis spokesperson telling ABC News there is no reason for instruction on sexual orientation or gender identity to be part of K through 12 public education. Full stop.
Wow, no sexual orientation or gender identity lesson plans in the public schools. That's just so
Hot button issues.
You see, that's not the
progress on their own laws
that the left likes. In fact, it's the kind of move that gives more control to the parents.
Not drag queens.
Not drag queens.
No.
Leave us alone.
Yes.
You know, and it's a distraction. It's a distraction on purpose. We don't know what to pay. We don't know what to pay attention to. You know, our justice system is convoluted. It's hard to understand on purpose. Let's be clear about that. Yeah. It's on purpose. You know, it was like when we were talking about Roe v. Wade, that the word codified came up. I was like, what is that? Yeah. And y'all didn't do it for 50 years? Yeah. What's happening?
I guess what's happening there is Sparkles is learning a new word.
That the word codified came up. I was like, what is that?
Yeah, maybe they were teaching the 1001 genders that supposedly exist that day instead of English. Now, a word that the media doesn't seem to use is the term far left. A new MRC study finds that the networks say the term far right in their coverage way more frequently than the term far left. In fact, it's 101 to 1.
You're very focused on school board races in Illinois to make sure extreme right-wing candidates aren't dominating.
These extreme MAGA people who are still supporting him.
Far-right conspiracy theorists.
Some of those far-right members.
Far-right former President Jair Bolsonaro.
The targeted group's ideology is similar to that of far-right groups here in the U.S.
Everything that's not super leftist. Hey, you don't want to pay more in taxes? Well, that's an extreme far-right position. It's almost like they don't even know that the term far left exists.
I was like, what is that?
What is that indeed? I'm Eric Shiner for MRC-TV, asking you to head over to MRC.org and smash that donate button to help us keep videos like this one coming. Check out MRCTV.org for the latest in entertainment, information, and videos. Like, share, and subscribe on the social media platforms of your choice. Rumble is the only place to get all of the MRC-TV videos. And we'll return next week with another look at leftist media insanity.